Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr. And it's time for the Thursday afternoon, just before Friday, Monday morning podcast. And I'm just checking in on you. How did your week going? Dude, it's fucking Thursday. It's Thursday, dude. Fucking payday. Actually, I get paid on Friday. Well, fuck you and your job, man. I used to get paid on Thursday. And I used to keep my money. I used to have my money. I spent it on me. Well, where do you want to go? Who's it up to? Me. How many dependents you got? None. My life was mine, and that $260 a week that I made, I had a fucking car payment for $138 a month. I was rolling in it. You know? Fucking rolling in it. I didn't even realize it. I was thinking, oh, gee, wouldn't it be great someday to fucking get out there in the world? Get my own place, have a car, drive down the street, man. Right? What happens? You get out there and you're stupid. You're like a little toddler crawling up to a fucking cobra. And they forgot to sew its mouth shut, you know? Like how they do that shit over in India. You know, where you're just born into a family of snake charmers, whatever happens over there. You ever seen that video? I assumed it was in India. You know? And don't get mad at me. Blame Hollywood. All right? I've hung out with the Z's a few times. I never brought the Cobra thing up. I forgot to find out if this was true or not. I could have been like, Aziz, is this or is this not a your people thing specifically? And then he could have been like, no, Bill, there's snake charmers all over the world. And you know what I would have said? I would have said, fair enough. But I didn't. So anyways, you ever seen those fucking videos where they sew the goddamn cobra's fucking mouth shut? Could I curse more in that sentence? Have you seen those, have you seen that footage where they take the, at this point with this voice, I'd have to know the Latin name for a cobra. They sew the fucking thing's mouth shut. And then they have a baby crawl up to it, and the snake is like freaking out. Because you got to understand, as small as a baby is to a person, for a snake, it's still pretty fucking big. Like, what is that? Is that a mongoose? Is that going to run up and just grab my face and give me a couple of shakes, and then that's it? Last thing I see in my life is the inside of a fucking mongoose's esophagus? That's what the snake is thinking. It's just a snake only has one fucking expression. You know? Reptiles are like redefined resting bitch face. Reptiles never look like they're in a good mood. Or they just have like, no, they're just kind of fucking sitting there like a frog. Right? It's not a fucking reptile, it's an amphibian. Well, whatever it is, doesn't have any hair on it. They have a little bit. Oh, that was Les Claypool's line, right? He was talking about some woman said she was finer than frog hair. What the fuck song was that? That was one of his solo albums. His Bucket of Bernie Brains. Something of the Hunt. I can't remember. Oh, my brain's going. Oh, I don't know what I was talking. I was talking about babies fucking messing with cobras. I don't know how I got there. I don't even know what's going on. How many minutes just went by? 3:42, just like that. Just like that. 3:42, you drive home or you drive to work. Right? Or maybe you have really tiny headphones and your wife's bitching at you right now and you listen to this. Or your boyfriend. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. You had that dream that you were going to go out in the real world and your money was going to be made and it was going to go into your pocket. And, dude, I'm going to have a fucking kegerator over here, fucking pool table, air hockey. And what happens? 20 years goes by. 20 years, where they go? 20 years, I don't know, right? Bob Seger. Sometimes I sit and wonder where they gone. How smart is Bob Seger? Bob Seger was smart enough to realize that most people lose, and he sang right to those fuckers. And they showed up with their fucking, what is that, old Milwaukees, right? And they sat right in the front row with their bottom lips quivering, you know, and then the wives would look over like, oh, honey, what's the matter? And then they'd have to slap their wife because you couldn't show that you cried back then when the song first came out. Now you can sit there with like cupcakes and kittens on your shirt as a man, sit there Indian style, wearing yoga pants, and your wife, you know, I don't know what she's doing. She's got work boots on and a trucker hat. I don't know what goes on with the youth today. I don't pretend to know. I'm an older person. All right? All I know is somehow all the bands went into the computer and they never came out again. And then they just became one person. You know, like Mayweather says, form like Voltron, right? Isn't Voltron like one guy? I don't know what the fuck it is. Well, what the hell with it? I mean, I'm from the age of I was too old for Stomper 4x4s when they came out. That's how I played with Tonka trucks, people. Okay, there was no batteries in that thing. You wanted it to move, you had to fucking push it. All right? And you rode those things down the driveway, and right before it went into traffic, you bailed off of it, and you prayed to God that it would make to the other side without getting run over by a milk truck. Right? There you go. So, and like you, I also don't know what I'm talking about at this point. Anyways, yeah, you thought it was going to be all you, right? And 20 years fucking goes by. Okay? And then one day you walk into your house and you're just looking around at all the shit, and all it really is it's just a bunch of shit. What is all this shit? Fucking tables and couches. We got enough fucking chairs here? How many kids do we plan on having? Why are there so many goddamn chairs? Why? Oh, there's so many chairs in the house. This is a perfect area right here where a drum kit could go. You know? What is that stupid picture? Why don't you take it off the wall and put up a fucking dartboard? I just feel like that wouldn't look right. Be kind of awkward. Why would that be awkward? You know what's awkward? Every room vaguely looking the same. We look like we live in a furniture store. There's nothing in here but furniture. How about some fun shit? What about that game where you try to punch it as hard as you can to see how strong you are? You know, or that game where you shoot the baskets. You can't just have one of those? I don't know. I just feel like that would, maybe in the garage? Is there a way to put it behind the house and down the street? I don't want to have company over and have them see that you're having fun. I want them... My wife better not listen to this. I want them to come over and see that you are totally in control. Under my control, and you are listening to the fucking decisions that I want to make. I'm just fucking with you. Anyways, whatever. Most of that isn't true. Only the sad part. It's Thursday, everybody. You either get paid today or tomorrow. What are you going to do with your money? Huh? What are you going to do? Did you hear Bank of America? Evidently, their entire fucking system was down. How does that happen? That's not scary enough, is it? Jesus Christ. I hope they didn't. I should look that up. I should look that up before I cause a run on a bank. Is that the name of a song? Run on a Bank? Is that a Bob Seger song? What's that? Ain't no surprise. Oh, that's Love on the Rocks, not Run on a Bank. Love on the Rocks. Ain't no big surprise. I thought it was Run on a Bank. Grab them by their ties. Especially with their milk white fucking thighs. Why does my internet suck in every fucking room? I swear to God, whoever my internet company is, they have to have a poster of me on the wall going, we need more customers like this. He pays 10 times what he should fucking pay. It never works, and he never complains unless he's doing his podcast. But who gives a fuck, because he never calls us. So what do we care? We just keep taking his fucking money. All right, here we go. Bank of America. Fuck yeah. Everyone in the world is jealous of us. Everyone wants to be just like us. That's why they hate on us. All right, maybe we've gotten out of line in a few areas. All right, evidently it's loading. You know what I mean? Watching my computer try to get on the internet, like waiting for it for load, it's like watching me try to remember shit from fucking 2 days ago. Oh, you sneaky fucking bastards. This isn't what I wanted. I didn't want your website. I wanted the fucking gossip. What do I got to hit? Bank of America /TMZ? Bank of fucking America. Here we go again. Bank of America. Google. Here we go. What do you got? What do we got? Customers shut out of accounts during apparent Bank of America outage. Oh, boy. I'm just picturing someone with one of those. What's that white mask that those fucking hackers wear? when they want to shut down the corporations. All right, here we go. Bank of America customers were shut out from their accounts. Oh, an advertisement. Oh, Ralph's. Jesus, you know what? I will buy a honey of a ham. All right, we're back. Bank of America customers were shut out from their accounts for several hours Wednesday in a system outage. You know somebody's fucking, didn't get dialysis or their heart stops. We're so at the feet of these fucking cunts. Coral Springs resident Eric Sleeper. Oh, he's a sleeper. You never think he could run that fast in those work boots, and there he goes down the street. Said we got what looked like a phishing email from the bank Wednesday and immediately started calling customer service to see if something was wrong. A message on his online account said it could not pull up his information. When we called his local branch, a manager said that local managers were calling each other trying to figure out what caused what appeared to be a national outage and why they were unable to provide certain services. Like what? Provide you with the money that you need? On downdetector.com, a website that tracks reports of system outages, reports started spiking after 11:30 a.m. and the website was inundated with comments from Bank of American customers. Dude, what the fuck? Send around the country saying they couldn't access online banking, computer transit. By 1 p.m., they had received nearly 1,000 reports of problems. But by Wednesday evening, although some customers were still reporting problems, the number of reports had gone down considerably to about 200. And then this is their comment. I know that the team is working quickly to bring everything back up. As time progresses, they should be able to go back online. I would really love to see what really happened. Bank of America system-wide outage on the day I'm closing on my house, and there's nothing I can do about it. Bank of America, you closed my bank account with no notice. How can I deposit my check when I no longer have an account? Stuck in Thailand. What is up with not being able to transfer? System has been down for 3 hours. Oh, Jesus, Jenny, that's nothing compared to the guy stuck in Thailand. The clerk at Bank of America just said, I can't make a deposit because of nationwide disruption. Anyone know what's up? All right, yeah, okay. All right, well, let's just hope that was a one-time thing. Nothing to see here. That's fucking scary. That's why you got to have your money in like 3 different banks. I don't care if you got $40. Put 15 in one, 10 in another. What do we got left there? What's that, 25? You got 15 in the last one, right? 15, 15, and 10. It's a fucking shell game out there, man. Then when you got to pay your rent, you write 3 different checks. Why don't you just write it for the full amount? Because I'm not going to get stuck in Thailand, you cunt. What do you care as long as it all works? All right. Let's get back to the podcast here. I am when you listen to this, I will be in New York City. By the time you listen to this, I am going to the airport tonight. I'm going back to New York for about a week. I'm going to be there for a week. Doing an acting gig out there. As I mentioned before, they're rebooting Sex and the City, and I'm going to be playing this Cynthia Nixon character. They said to keep my head shaved. Maybe they could do some sort of, I don't know, post, cancer-free, I guess Craig Nixon. I don't know what my fucking name's going to be, but, I wanted to be the fabulous one, whatever the fuck her name is. What the fuck was her name? I saw her one time at a Knicks game. She still looked beautiful, with her thin fucking head. She needs more head and I need less head. If we could somehow combine the two of us, I think, they could have something there. What the fuck is her name? She starred in it. How do you remember Cynthia Nixon and you don't remember the other one? Sarah Jessica Parker! That's right. SJP. She had a fucking basketball shoe. How about those Red Sox winning the last 3 out of 4? Yeah, did you like that shit? Went 2-2 against the fucking Yankees over there, and then we took 2 out of 3 from the Blue Jays. I watched the whole Blue Jays series. I enjoyed it. You know what's great? Is Dennis Eckersley up in the booth. The man loves the game. The man played the game. The man can talk the game, and goddamn it, he does it for 9 innings. I love it, especially when it's like a low-scoring game. If you have a fucking pitcher up there, he's incredible. They'll actually make it exciting. I think he's going to come in with the fucking... I do breaking ball here. Guy throws a breaking ball. He's like, this guy, it's like he has fucking ESP. It's like he pitched in the fucking league, everybody. How does this man know what happens? Evidently, the Yankees made some sort of move to cock block the Red Sox. But, I try to get annoyed by that. But, it's been 3 World Series. I think we're good. Who gives a shit? We're in first place. I think it's kind of over. I think the Yankees-Red Sox thing is, it'll never be what it was. And I'm happy for it. I'm actually glad that it won't be. I don't miss it. Because, it usually didn't work out. It worked out for us once. And then it was over. Anyways, by the way, I still haven't posted a picture of my drum kit. I swear to God, I'm going to fucking send it right now. So I'm going to send it right fucking now. You probably already see it by the time this thing's posted. Let me just it's not the greatest picture. I was by myself. What do you want from me? Come on. Oh, shit. I was reading something the other day. I'm going to get to it. About Goodfellas. It was this really cool thing that said 30 things you might not know about Goodfellas. And it was actually 30 things that I didn't fucking know. Even though they still talked about how am I funny? What do I amuse you? What am I, some sort of clown? And everybody knows that was improv, but like Pesci and those guys were saying, we would improv it, and then he would write it all down, and then, take the best parts and then write it down. Then you had to memorize it. Then you'd fucking go do it. Which makes sense, because you can't like fucking improv every different take, and then he moves the cameras around, you're saying different shit that you did the other time, and then it's not going to line up. So anyways, it was the best, one of the best ones. That whole tracking scene where Henry Hill takes Karen. What did you do? Oh, you just killed us. I'm sorry. Right? He takes her in through the kitchen, right? That whole tracking shot. And that was one sentence in the book that Scorsese got this idea. There's a line in that book, Wise Guy, or whatever the fuck, the one that Henry Hill wrote. It said, on crowded nights when people were lined up outside and couldn't get in, the doorman used to let Henry, I'm sorry, the print's really small, my eyes are going, used to let Henry and our party in through the kitchen, which was filled with Chinese cooks, and we go upstairs and sit down immediately. That one sentence in that whole fucking book. I mean, how many times did he read that book? He just read it one time and said, oh, that gives me an idea. Bam. You'd think it would at least be a paragraph. Some sort of story attached to it. It's just one goddamn sentence. And that guy's fucking able to do all of that. And that, my friends, is why he's one of the great directors of all time. All right, let's get a good one here. Let's get a good one. Oh, there we go. There we go. Symbols are at a fucked up angle. I had to run out of there. I'm a dad now. It's like whenever I get a fucking chance, I run over there. I ran over there this morning. I literally played 4 songs and then went to work. I didn't stretch at all because I didn't have time to, and then my fucking forearms and hands were all fucked up. I'm an idiot. All right, let me send this right now. You guys are literally listening to me send a fucking picture. Oh, guess who wants to come back? Guess who wants to come back? After fucking dumping this podcast, guess who wants to come back? Huh? After, it's not Nature's Box. It's, hold on a second. Post this with podcast, you cunt. No, I didn't say that. All right. Guess what? DraftKings wants to come back. Where the fuck did they go? Huh? What the fuck is wrong with you? Did you hear what's his face got, they're going to be back, by the way, because they said I can say whatever the fuck I want, which means I can make the advertising as funny as I want, which means you guys will listen. And there you go. That's all advertising is. Just get people to listen and maybe somebody will buy. There was a rumor, I heard a rumor that, what's his face? Conor McGregor got knocked out by his sparring partner. And I looked it up. And what I loved was Mayweather's like, I don't believe it until I see footage. I don't believe it. Like maybe that was a strategy by McGregor. And it kind of all got fucking just explained away like, no, it didn't happen. So there you go. There's one for you guys who are still going to order it. There is no proof. It was debunked by the McGregor camp. Mayweather does not believe it. So there's still a chance. There's some stupid article out there calling Conor McGregor yet another great white hope. It's like, this is not another great white hope. Great white hope would be if he was an actual in boxing trying to win a fucking title. You know, this guy holds 2 titles. He already is a champion. Okay? He already is a champion, you know, and it's not a whites-only league. So, I don't know how he's a great white hope. This is a fucking spectacle. That's what this is. It's a goddamn spectacle. I am going to try so fucking hard not to order it. I already agreed with Rogan that I might watch it the next week with him. He does this thing where you just fucking watch it together and you talk about it. I might do that with Rogan if I can find some goddamn time to do it. I have to do it. That's also a good way to watch it for free. For free! Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll be the fucking grumpy guy that didn't watch it. And then I'll say, oh, all right, I'll watch it. And I'm really just a tight fuck. I'm going to watch it for free. Huh? Remember that expression? Fucking Annie up, you tight fuck. Hey, does anybody know how the expression on the arm came about? We were trying to figure that out today in the writer's room, meaning it's for free. The best I could get is that it's a policeman's slang, on the arm, and all I could think was, you know, the long arm of the law, the arm of the law. How does the expression on the arm come about? What is the origin that means it's free? Don't pay for these drinks, they're on the arm. Can anybody tell me? Because people already told me P's and Q's, mind your own P's and Q's, came from the bars and the pubs where they used to give beer in pints and quarts. So when people got a little, you know, out of line and sticking their nose in other people's business or getting ready to fight, hey, mind your P's and Q's. You look at your fucking glass, you don't look at anybody else, or whatever the fuck it meant, right? So I like that shit. So if you can tell me how on the arm came about, I don't give a shit if you make up stuff. I'll read it like it's a fact, then it'll end up on Wikipedia, and then at least people will have an answer. Anyway, so these fucking Toronto Blue Jay fans were talking shit, because I actually watched that whole fucking 14-inning game where Hanley Ramirez hit the walk-off home run, right? It was 3-3 after regulation, and then 13 after 9 innings, whatever the fuck you say in this sport. And then in like the 12th inning or something like that, Blue Jays scored a run, went up 4-3, and then we somehow scored a run, made it 4-4, and then Hanley Ramirez in the bottom of the 14th hit a walk-off, crushed a hanging curveball out onto the fucking Mass Pike there. And I loved Eckersley. He was saying that Hanley's going, I love you, because he just wants to go home. It's fucking hilarious. Especially because we had that 19-inning game with the Yankees a few days earlier. But oh, Jesus, what the fuck was I talking about? I literally just forgot everything I was talking about. There was a point I was trying to make there. On the arm, then to the Red Sox, and then fucking out my ear, down my pant leg, and I don't know where the fuck it went. I don't know what the fuck I was talking about there. Oh, I know, I was talking shit. Well, I didn't talk shit. These fucking Blue Jay fans were giving me shit. So out of nowhere, this fucking drum company, cymbal-making company that I never heard of before, called Dream Cymbals, out of nowhere starts talking shit, going, hey, if I forget, if the Red Sox win, we'll give you a free bag of cymbals. If the Blue Jays win, you got to give us free advertising. So the Red Sox win. They're like, fuck it. What kind of cymbals do you want? Or if they were even serious, I was just like, you're not giving me a bag of fucking cymbals. I already have cymbals. I can't play the cymbals I have. Why would I take a bag of yours that you could actually sell to someone who knows how to play drums? So just for the fuck of it, I'm gonna start the advertising with a free read. I've never heard of these guys. Dream Cymbals. Dream Cymbals. You ever dream you could have some cymbals, man? Have them in a bag, man. Though relatively new on the market, Dream Cymbals and Gongs produces world-class handmade cymbals out of a factory in China's Wuhan region. Am I going to be put on a watch list? I didn't know. I thought those guys were the enemy. which has crafted excellent gongs for generations. For drummers searching for their own style, Dream is a dream come true. Each cymbal has its own unique voice, enhancing musicians' distinctiveness. Dreams. I actually listened to a couple of people play the cymbals. They sound pretty good. And I would imagine because they're lesser known, a.k.a. not Zildjian, not Sabian, not fucking Paste or Peisty, however the fuck you say it. Meinl. All the kids play Meinl now. Everybody's got to play the Meinls. You want to be different? Why don't you play Dream cymbals? Or don't. I don't give a fuck. They're not paying me. You can buy a set of these cymbals and roll them down the fucking hill for all I give a shit. All right, now into the real stuff. All right, that was just a warm-up. Maybe I'll start doing that. Free advertising, just a warm-up. I apologize if I'm making a lot of noise. I got a cough drop. I'm fucking my voice. Oh, who is it? Oh, look who's here. Hey, sweetheart. My daughter's walking. She's already knocking on doors. Guess who learned how to crawl? She crawls like an inchworm. You don't care about your toys, though, do you? I love this new shy thing she does, where she sees and she looks away.
Yeah.
What's up, buddy? You going to hang out, watch another 14 innings of Red Sox baseball with me tonight?
We just came in to
We actually already went. Oh, okay.
And to give a kiss.
All right, it's hot as hell in here.
It is. Why don't you turn the AC on? Mwah.
Turn it on if you don't mind.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Hey, Nia. What would you do if somebody had that level of bad breath? I read that thing to you.
The halitosis?
Halitosis, and literally had like that fucking slime along the gum line. There's no way you're kissing him, right?
No. It's too gross.
Would you say anything?
I honestly think it depends on how much he likes her. You know what I mean? If he really, really likes her, like, damn, I could really see myself with this girl, then you say something.
How do you see past? You know what all I could think
You're a
of?
good person.
All I could think of was when they just empty the dumpster and you look inside of it and all that fucking that liquid slime. That's all I could. Oh God.
No, I feel like if someone is that poor with their dental hygiene, I feel like that definitely is a red flag. To be honest, if it were me, I would have
You're
to
not going
walk away.
downstairs. You've seen the attic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't want to see the basement.
Exactly. Look at her right now.
I know she's so cute.
So cute. Okay.
All right,
Bye.
turn on the AC. You don't mind?
Yes.
Oh, it bugged me last night. By the way, you all impressed that I got to go to sleep. It bugged me.
Every time I leave, you call me. Every time I think I'm out, you pull me back in. Yes, I know, but I was trying to compliment you.
I know.
I thought you felt, some type of...
I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know I had difficulties getting her to go to sleep.
You were like, I stink at it. Da, da, da. I'm like...
Oh, that just means I don't want to do it. I can do it. I just don't want to do it.
Oh, really? Because you made it seem like you made me feel bad for you. Like you felt like, oh, it's not like I do it every day like you do. Like you felt somehow it bothered you inside. But
No, I just knew it was easier.
Easy?
I just knew it was easier for you to do it. Because, you can always tap out. It's like drunk drivers with Ubers. You can always take your boob out and then put her to sleep with that. I can't do that. Okay? I'm a man without a country there.
Right. And I thought that meant that you felt like you didn't really have a place in terms of like getting her to go to sleep. But now I'm realizing that you're just lazy. So
Not lazy. I worked all day in a writer's room staring at a computer screen trying to think of jokes for animated children.
okay.
All right. Just for that, I'm drinking tonight, and I'm going to be really belligerent. Extra belligerent tonight.
Look at the cute.
I know. She's adorable. And you know what? Adorable is not funny. So...
I've been trying to leave for the past 5 minutes. You keep calling me back in.
You see what she does? You see how she yells at me? Could you put the AC on, please, sweetheart?
If you ask me that one more time, I swear to God, I'm going to turn it on.
All right. Oh, Nia, I got to read this one thing for you.
No!
I got to read this one thing for you.
No, I'm trying to leave. Goodbye.
All right, put the AC on. Don't. Ow! All right. You could have got me worse. All right. Passionate women hit hard. I don't know if you've ever noticed that. If you date some chick who just has no direction and she balls her fist up, I mean, you can literally just continue eating your club sandwich. But if you get a woman with passion, that or if they had an older brother, it's going to fucking hurt a little bit. All right. Audible's Dr. Katz. Dr. Katz. Is this the comedian Dr. Katz? Jonathan Katz? I used to open for this guy way back in the day when I started out. He's fucking hilarious. Genius. Dr. Katz, The Audio Files is the new comedy series, free now at audible.com. Dr. Katz, the cult classic TV comedy, is back. Sorry, that was a black comedy. Is back as a premium podcast with the original cast at audible.com/Dr. Katz. Oh, Jesus Christ. Jonathan, if you listen to this, I want to do an episode. Eavesdrop.com. Oh, Eavesdrop on top comics on couch with Hollywood's favorite shrink. Sarah Silverman, Ted Danson, Ray Romano. No, come on, what are you doing? Weird Al Yankovic, Kristen Schaal, Maria Bamford, Paul F. Tompkins. That's how fucking, look at that. That's all A-listers right there. Some guy named John Hamm and somebody named, the fuck is that? I got like half the copy. It says somebody named more, then that's it. Comedians finally get the therapy they need, and you get free antidepressants in your ear on Dr. Katz, The Audio Files, exclusively now at audible.com/Dr. Katz. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, look who's back. Oh, shit. MeUndies. I've been watching the fucking socks. MeUndies. Nice and soft on my cock. And my balls and my fucking taint goes around in my ass. I always say ain't. Oh, I fucked it up, but who gives a shit? Fucking squatting on dream symbols, and it doesn't hurt. All right, MeUndies. MeUndies are the softest, most comfortable underwear you'll ever wear. Period. And summer is the perfect time to figure out how little your balls are going to sweat while you upgrade your underwear drawer, because everyone is thinking about looking good and feeling good, and MeUndies are the ultimate feel-good undies. Every pair of MeUndies is sustainably sourced and made from modal, a fabric 3 times far softer than cotton, because MeUndies.com, I got to get glasses, man, because MeUndies come in all kinds of colors and patterns, and they release new limited edition patterns each month that always sell out. This month's pattern were designed by legendary 80s clothing brand Cross Colors, with names that live up to their bold design and bright colors. Increase D-Piece. Shouldn't it be D-Piece? There's another one called Ya Dig. That's for people with itchy balls. And the OG. Oh, Jesus, granddad with his balls hanging down. This better be spandex. To hold everything together. You got to see them for yourself. And right now, you'll save 20% off your first pair and receive free shipping only at MeUndies.com/burn. If you don't love your first pair of MeUndies, they're free. Get 20% off your first pair plus free shipping at MeUndies.com/burr. That's MeUndies.com/burr. Hey! MeUndies.com/burr. Two more. All right, Lyft. Lyft, man. Lyft knows that their drivers are what keep them moving. So they do everything they can to make sure their drivers are happy on every trip. Lyft is the ride-sharing company that believes in treating its people better. I love this shit. I love this Hatfield and McCoy thing that's going on with them and that other company that rhymes with Moober. When I read this copy, what I learned from Lyft is that if you drive for that other company that rhymes with Boober, they evidently treat you like shit and you don't get tipped. Or something. I don't know what the fuck happens, but they're totally good. Oh, yeah, this is the place. This is the ride-sharing app that gives a fuck about their drivers. Lyft is a ride-sharing company that believes in treating its people better. Lyft believes that being a ride-sharing driver should be fun. If you're having a good time, so are the passengers. Well, yeah, not if you're partying, you know. Don't have too much fun up there, buddy, okay? My life's in your hands there. If you're choosing a ride-sharing company to drive for, go with a company that treats you better, like Lyft. Lyft was the first to offer in-app tap tipping. When you drive for Lyft, you'll keep 100% of the tips. Drivers have been paid over $200 million in tips since the feature was introduced. Lyft has even taken the guesswork out of pickups. The new AMP device uses color coding to help passengers find their drivers. You can earn hundreds of dollars a week plus tips. Want to earn more money? We'll do ya! Drive more. It's never been easier to give yourself, drive more. It's never been easier to give yourself a raise. That's all you got to do is work more. Well, that's kind of how every job works, isn't it? Unless you're on salary. It's a simple formula. Happy drivers mean happy passengers. Maybe that's why 9 out of 10 Lyft rides get a perfect 5-star rating. Go to lyft.com/Burr today and get your $500 new driver bonus. That's lyft.com/Burr. Lyft.com/Burr. I don't know why I just thought this, but I don't think Ferrari's going to catch Mercedes. I just don't. I don't know what the fuck's going on over there. I know this season is only halfway over, but I don't know. Both Ferraris, both fucking left front tires, both in the final 5 laps. You know, it's like a bad fucking sitcom. I'm sorry with all the fucking mealy mouth on this podcast. I'm trying not to do it on the mic. It's just I got this halls in my mouth because my fucking voice is shot once again. And I got all this acting to do. So I'm taking a break, a momentary hiatus from screaming my jokes on stage. You know what I just really need to do? I need to write smarter jokes. Yet all I got to do is just come out and say them. Wear a suit, bing, bang, boom, and I'm done. All right, Simply Safe. Summer is prime time for burglary. Those fucking cunts. Why can't they do it in the winter when you're already miserable? You know, you're having a good time. I think she's the one. Where's my furniture? Summer is prime time for burglary, so now is the time to protect your home. For a limited time, you can take a whopping $100 off Simply Safe's special summer package. That is Simply Safe's biggest ever summer sale. It has everything you need to protect your home, an arsenal of security sensors to secure each door and window. Your Simply Safe system comes with a panic button, a blaring extra siren, and a wireless connection to authorities and police dispatch. Just don't leave it in your bed so when you roll over and you sleep, you're going to wake up with 3 cops with their gun in your face. Yeah, I swear to God, I live here. Your family, your home, and everything in it stays safe around the clock. With Simply Safe, there are no long-term contracts, no installation costs, and no hidden fees. And 24/7 professional monitoring. It's just $14.99 a month for a panic button. How much do you think Jodie Foster paid for that fucking panic room? What an idiot. She had the whole room. All you needed was a button. Once you press that, the attacker's going to be like, oh, fuck, and he's going to leave. You press the button, right? Call to action. Get $100 off the summer security package at simplysafe.com/Burr. simplysafeburr.com. The sale ends July 31st. That's simplysafeburr.com to get $100 off simplysafe.com. Simplysafeburr.com. Fuck. All right. I'm just going to swallow this fucking thing. There we go. All right, sorry. 33 fucking minutes of me fucking sloshing around here. 38 minutes. All right, so anyways, I'm going to be in New York, sweating my balls off for the next fucking week, being the new Cynthia Nixon. And you know what kills me is I found out too late that Guns N' Roses is going to be playing at the Apollo Theater that night. The 30th anniversary. 30th anniversary of the of Appetite for Destruction. They're going to be doing it there. I fucking could have figured out a way to weasel my way into that show. It's done through Sirius XM. God knows I've done enough shit over there, and I completely fucked myself because I didn't realize that show was going on. And then I'm going to be in New York, and while I'm in New York, John fucking Mayer with the Night Game opening up with Dave Elitch on drums at the LA Forum, Steve Jordan on drums, 2 of my favorite drummers of all fucking time. 2 incredible fucking bands. One of the best venues to see a goddamn concert, and I show up like a fucking day or 2 later and I miss that. You know? I just feel like I miss everything. Anyways, that's the podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, you cunts. Yeah, that's it. Listen to this music as we transfer to another half hour of free shit here. From a Thursday afternoon podcast, from a Thursday gone by in a year that already happened, or maybe it's early this year. I don't know. I don't choose them. That's it. I'll talk to you on Monday.
You afraid of the gynecologist? I don't fucking know. I am a 20-year-old college guy who has, was it gynophobia? The fear of women. I've never heard of this. He said, when I was a kid, I used to get the shit kicked out of me, and girls would always spread rumors about me, and it would really screw with my mind. Wait a minute, you didn't get along with men or women? Well, what were you doing? You know what, that's the last thing you needed to hear. Well, what's wrong with you? Sorry. Forgive me. I'm not a trained professional, so, you're asking a moron, and, I'm going to behave accordingly. Here we go. As I grew up, I started to resent and hate all the people around me. Then my mother tells me about false rape accusations, and that makes females look even more scarier than they already were. See, guys just kick the shit out of you. Females psychologically fuck you up bad and don't even have a tint of remorse or empathy. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, dude. So your mother's a psycho. And she put all these fears on you. Yeah, you got to maybe I would seek some professional help before you turn into Norman Bates. All right, let's continue this. Then I hear about all the women raping men in the divorce courts and in general adding more fuel to the fear. Dude, you're overthinking this shit. I mean, you probably heard half of that from me, but I'm an idiot. Don't listen to me. He says, gotten to the point where when a female introduces herself to me, I just see her as a potential mind-raping and prolonged exercise of getting verbally abused. So I just always say, sorry, but I have somewhere to be right now. Goodbye. And I walk away. Sir, can I steal that from you? I want to use that next time I get pulled over. Got a license resident. Sorry, but I have somewhere to be right now. Goodbye. And you just act like the Rain Man, and they'll fucking leave you alone. That's actually brilliant. He said, they scare me so much, but I'm still attracted to them. Oh, my God, dude. Listen, you gotta get past this. Hopefully you're still young, and this is early on. But this is something where you are, everybody is trying to go towards the, we'll just call it, planet live happily ever after. But if you're off by just 1 degree, you're not really going to notice when you're 22, 24, But by the time you're 40, you're going to be about 1,000,000 miles off course. So let's try to get you some help. I would go see a therapist, sir. And I know I've been joking around, but I kind of have to do that because this is a podcast. But, actually, because it's a podcast that's supposed to be funny. Not saying you can't have a serious podcast. Yeah, I would go get some help quickly. And I would get rid of all those fears. And I would say a lot of the fears were probably put into your head by your mom when you were really young. And you need to try to get those out of there before they take any more root than they already do. Already have. Well, let's finish here. He said, my mind says stay the fuck away, while my dick says do it, fucking do it. But in this climate of unrestrained female hypo-agency, I don't know what the fuck that means. The shit that makes women invade male spaces and makes them change everything to suit them. Dude, you're taking your fucking fear of women. You're blowing by me. Listen. Are you a great guy? If you're a great guy, there's a great woman out there for you. And it's a beautiful thing. They're not all like this. What you're doing is you're taking the worst of females and you're painting it with the broad brush. All right? Jesus Christ. I'm relating to this guy here. He said, I'd rather stay celibate for life. All right, no, I don't relate to that. I am a loner to a vast degree, but I got a loving family to back me up, so I ain't on the fringe or anything. I plan on just working towards my career in it. Did I write this like 20 years ago? Jesus Christ. Plan on just working towards my career in education, but either way, I'll have to deal with women, and it's been hard to do so lately since my social skills tanked over the last 9 months. Trauma conga line of horrific events happened, and I am working on getting the confidence back through Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I already lost 11 pounds, and I'm starting to feel a lot better. All right, well, just don't go choke out any women. All right? Or try to put them in the triangle. He said, anyways, is there any way, but martial arts are a great way to build self-esteem from what I've heard. Anyways, is there any way to get rid of the insane fear I have about women, or is it just 15 years of hurt that'll take almost forever to undo. Thanks, and go fuck yourself 6 ways from Sunday, and good luck with your stand-up. All right. Oh, so you're only 15? Is that what you're saying? All right, dude. First of all, it's great you took up Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You should know how to defend yourself, and don't be a cunt about it when you become a black belt. Use it to save nerds and protect yourself, but never be a bully. And then as far as women, I would actually try and talk to somebody about this. And I would try to have more of an open mind. Because right now, if you're only 15 years old, or even if you're young in your early 20s, mid-20s, you're basically, you got the lottery pick as far as women goes. All right? They're all available. All first-round draft picks. Bunch of first-round draft picks just sitting there. And, you know, depending on when you open your mouth and start talking to one is when you pick in the draft, if you know what I mean. Sooner rather than later. But I would just talk to somebody about some of your issues. Maybe at school they got some free fucking therapy or something like that if you're too young to pay for it. But I don't know. I would talk to somebody. I would talk to some of your guy friends about it. You know what I would do? I would openly talk about your fear of women to friends. You know, and I would sit down with your mother and just say, listen, I have major issues with women right now, and I think some of it stems from a lot of the negative things that you've said about them, and I need you to stop doing that because it's fucking with me. Don't say that part, but say it in a nicer way. But if she's, you know, I don't know. That's the hardest fucking thing is because you are born into the religion of your parents, you know, and into all of their beliefs. And hopefully they have more good than bad, but they're human, so they're going to be wrong. And, you know, when you're a little toddler all the way through like 7, 8 years old, your parents are godlike. You just think they know everything and they have all the answers. They never look unsure. You do everything that they fucking say. So a lot of that stuff just really takes deep root, like it's law in your head. And then in your teenage years, you start breaking away. You realize some of it's bullshit, and that's when some anger can come out and that type of stuff. So I would say what you're going through is normal. It's just that you maybe had an extreme helping of some fucking anti-woman shit, which I can relate to because I did too, and I had to fight through that shit. I mean, it took me to get married till I was 45. I had major fucking issues, but it's like anything. Look, just use the martial arts thing as a metaphor or a simile, whatever the fuck you're supposed to, whatever the right terminology is. Look, you did that, you stuck with that, you lost 11 pounds. You worked towards that. Look at what you're getting. You're getting positive results, and it hasn't been easy, right? But you keep showing up, you get positive results. I would do the same thing with your women issues. I would just start working on it. You know, next time a woman comes up and says hello, don't say I have somewhere to go. Just say hello back and stay in the conversation for as long as you can. And when you feel like bailing, just say, listen, I'm really shy around women, and it's something that I'm trying to work on. Just put it out there. And you know what? I guarantee 80% of them are going to say, "Aw." You know, when they do that, they're going to love it. And next thing you know, you're out there watching a romantic comedy with some lady having a good time. But I would address it sooner than later. I'm telling you, dude, you think it's a mountain. It's stepping up onto the curb. It's all in your head. And that's totally normal because I would guess that your fears started when you were in my mom's godlike phase of your life. So you think it's
hey, what's going
that
on?
fucking
It's
mountain
Bill Burr.
everywhere? Everest.
And
that
it
everybody
is
tries to
the
climb up.
Monday
It isn't.
morning podcast
It is.
for
Okay, it's a little
Monday,
fucking anthill. And you
July
can do it. All right?
fucking
I believe in you.
I don't
Good
know
luck,
what it
sir.
is 'cause it's
There you go.
Sunday. It's going to be the 20th, right? No, wait a minute. I'm on September here. God damn it. It is the 20th. What are the fucking odds of that? Anyways, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, the Monday morning podcast for Monday, July the 20th. And I'm actually doing it Sunday night because whenever you listen to this fucking thing, I'm probably out golfing. Yes, believe it or not. A guy who already has too many goddamn hobbies with his pathetic drumming and guitar playing. I don't know. I've somehow gotten sucked into that game, fighting it my entire adult life. All my friends, not all my friends, just a bunch of fucking people I know, they golf, and I always viewed it like drinking coffee. I just didn't like. I don't know. It just didn't look like that much fun, but everyone was completely addicted to it. You know, I took a sip of fucking coffee when I was like 8 years old, and it tasted like shit. Tasted like dirty water, and it looked like dirty water, and that's what it tasted like. And I never got into it. And I don't know, my whole adult life, I just watch all these people walking around. They can't start their fucking day unless they get a cup of this shit. You know? All these people talking about people on crystal meth and addicted to alcohol and shit like that. I mean, I guess they're not fucking slurring their speech. You know, it doesn't cause them to slap their fucking wife around or something like that. So I guess it's kind of harmless, but I don't know. I remember this kid when I worked in a warehouse. He used to drink like fucking 8 Cokes a day. You know, he'd like suck down like one an hour when we were working. And one day he decided to try to quit it cold turkey. And this kid couldn't even function. He had like this migraine headache. He lasted like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, right up until our first break. And he drank a Coke and he just felt better. So, so I avoided that shit. And, I don't know, I've been kind of worried about losing my memory, and somebody told me if you actually drink caffeine that it actually helps with Alzheimer's. So I had an Italian meal a few weeks ago, and I drank a shot of espresso, however the fuck you say it, and I don't know. I know, it was fucking brutal. I got it over with, though, and then someone's like, no, I actually read where it adds to Alzheimer's disease, and I was like, you know what, I don't give a fuck. You know, none of you are doctors who are giving me this advice. You know? It's fucking ridiculous. The amount of, like, how many times have you done that? You know, you're just sitting in a bar and somebody just says that. Well, actually, caffeine helps prevent Alzheimer's. Yeah, they've done studies. Oh, really? Really? Do you have any of those studies in front of you? What the fuck do you do? Huh? What does anybody do anymore? Huh? What do you do? Huh? You sit in a fucking cubicle looking at spreadsheets of the sweatshop labor. This is how fucked up this country is right now as far as, like, I'm really just trying to buy American-made shit. I actually went and I got a couch. And I went to this furniture store over here in the Valley. And it was, allegedly American-made shit. So I ordered this couch. Because, you don't want to take the one that's on the floor that everybody's fucking plopped down on. So I get this couch, right? So I'm like, when I asked before I bought the couch, because I want to buy American-made shit made by Americans. You know what I mean? Get this fucking country going again. What, like we can't make a couch? We've made the best-looking fucking cars of all goddamn time before we started being cheap motherfuckers about it, all right? We went to the moon and we faked going to the moon. I don't know what the fuck we did, okay? But it was impressive. We can make a goddamn couch. Okay, so I asked the guy, where's the couch made? He says it's made in Pasadena. Long story short is I end up having a problem with the upholstery that they put on the fucking thing. So that was when I actually, when I had to send the stupid couch back, I actually learned of their process. This is what they do. They do make the couch in Pasadena. They build the damn thing. But when they put the upholstery on it, they actually, that part of the job, they shipped it down to like Honduras. Okay, think about that. They build it in Pasadena. I live over here in LA, all right? And they fucking ship it to Honduras to have the upholstery put on it, and then they ship it back to America. So my thing is, like, how fucking cheap is the goddamn labor down there that's financially a better way to go? The fuck am I? I'm talking about golf here? I'm talking about fucking shipping couches to Honduras? I don't know. It's late at night here, and I'm trying not to fucking scream and yell because my neighbors are sleeping here. So anyway, so I've taken up golf, and I still refuse to take it seriously, although I did go out and buy a little Tiger Woods outfit. You know, I don't know. I just didn't want to go down there looking like a douche. You know, like the frat boy. I figure if I dress nicely, even if I suck, maybe I look like, I'm having a bad day or something. So, anyways, I'm golfing right now. That's what the fuck I'm doing. And I missed that whole British Open yesterday where Tom Watson. I thought the guy was like dead, even though Aaron Palmer's still alive. This fucking guy's like 59 years old. He almost won the British Open, but then he didn't, which is typical of golf. Oh my God, something's great's going to happen, and then it doesn't. And then you watch somebody choke in front of their entire family. I still haven't gotten over the Masters, even though, Kenny Perry, is that his name? He's won another, I don't know what the fuck he won, but he didn't get a green jacket, I can tell you that. I can fucking tell you that. What am I talking about this week? Hey, this is the deal. All right, and you know what's the deal? Because I started this sentence off with, hey. I was trying to get your attention there. I'm going to be at the Comedy Works in Denver, Colorado on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of this week. It's one of my favorite clubs out there. And I also want to thank everybody who came out to see my show a week ago at the Punchline. I had a great time. It was the first time I was on stage headlining since the middle of May, because I was being a little fancy fucking dude there, as Jimmy Norton says, making a movie or sitting around waiting to do my 11 lines, however the fuck you want to look at it. But I'm going to say it in a positive way. I was making a movie, and I was a little rusty. Kind of found I was a little it's a little messy, but I got through it. But I was by the second show, I was back on my game. So I'm really looking forward to this. And if you guys haven't been listening to my podcast, I am going to be doing another special, and it looks like it's going to be in December, and it looks like if everything works out, I'm going to be taping it in San Francisco. So I am going to be in a theater or a comedy club near you from here till then, from right now until then. Did I say that correctly? I kind of have a bit of it starts getting going basically right at the end of August, and I'm just hardcore September, October, November, and half of December, and then I'm going to tape the thing. I am going to be hardcore on the road like the old days when I wasn't making any money. So I had to go out like 3-4 times a fucking month and then do a bunch of spots in the city. I'm going to be doing it like that, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to try to eat healthy on the road. These are my goals. Now, am I going to do it? Who the fuck knows? All right, I'm going to try not to drink when I'm on the road. I'm going to try to do some yoga. I'm going to try to fucking do some cardio, do some pull-ups, get myself in shape physically, and not look like a bloated jackass. That's the last thing you want to fucking do. You don't want to sweat, and you don't want to look like a bloated jackass during your special. And then thirdly, you want to be fucking hilarious. But that is the order. Number one, you do not want to sweat. You eat your balls. It's no big deal. They'll throw some laughter in there. Maybe they'll sweeten it up, or maybe they'll just play it once and people forget about it. But if you're pouring fucking sweat, people remember that shit. You know? No, why would you know? You don't do stand-up. All right, I'm a little out of it here. All right, what do we got here? Let's get on with the questions here. Oh, and if you're new to my podcast, welcome. I joke every week that I only have like 14 listeners, but I got to admit, I was at when I was at the Punchline on Monday, Punchline in San Francisco, somebody yelled out Pau Gasol because they wanted to see my impression. As I was talking about, I did one here on the podcast. So before I just launched into it, I asked the people in the crowd, hey, how many of you guys listen to my podcast? And it was literally like 3/4 of the crowd. So I was kind of blown away by that. So I think I might be up to about 27 listeners there, people. Anyway, so let's get on with the podcast here. Last week I was talking about all the celebrities who died and how all these morons, when Ed McMahon died and then Farrah died and then Michael Jackson died. People, what do they say? Oh, there you go. Bad things come in threes. You fucking come in threes. And then Billy Mays dies, right? And then fucking, what's-his-face fucking died earlier that month, jerking off. He dies, right? So that's 5. So you know what some fucking jackass sends me this email. He was half joking around. He goes, I'm one of those guys who actually says all the time that bad things come in threes. And I actually put up on my Facebook when those 3 celebrities when they died, I wrote bad things come in 3. But then he mentioned that Karl Malden died. He goes, so technically that's 6. So that's 3 and 3. So I am right. Really? Why isn't it bad things come in 6? You people are out with the bad things come in 3. You guys, you're out of your fucking minds. Bad things come in 3s. So then what if somebody else dies and it goes up to 7? Then you keep your fucking mouth shut until 2 more people die. And see you there. There you go. Comes back around again. So you guys just basically open your mouth when whatever bad shit has been happening is divisible by 3 to prove your fucking point. I could say bad things come in 8s and just wait for the 8th bad thing to fucking happen and then rattle them off. They don't come in 3s. Bad things just continue to fucking happen, which is why they have ice cream and alcohol, so you can do fun shit while you're waiting for the next bad thing to happen. We had a heat wave out here. That's 7 bad fucking things. What are you, a fucking old lady? What kind of a fucking human, what kind of a man says that shit? All right, let's move on to some other stuff. I know that guy was just joking, the guy who sent me the email in 6, but, if I don't take it seriously, then I don't get emotional about it, and then the podcast isn't funny, all right? And then I lose a listener like that one woman from a fucking couple months ago. I never heard from her again. Or her alleged friends who were listening. So anyways, which really affected the overall value of this podcast, because I'm actually doing this to get to a certain number, and then I'm going to go corporate, and then I'm going to sell it. Just like these fucking cunts who start the MySpace, these social networks, whatever the fuck you call them. What they really are is they're basically clubs on the internet, Like I've never, believe it or not, I was never into the club scene. I know it's hard to believe that I didn't put on cologne and go, all right, maybe I did it a couple of times, but I failed so horrifically. And I've always said one of my strengths in life is I've known what I sucked at. Okay, and going to the Night at the Roxbury things is not something I was never good at. Excuse me, I need to drink here. All right, that's gross. You don't want to hear anybody chewing gum or fucking take a sip of anything. But you know what? It's hot as fuck out here. I was playing drums all day. I was actually playing with other human beings, if you can believe it. It's a whole different kind of drumming. When you play by yourself, you can do whatever the fuck you want. You screw up, there's nobody looking over their shoulder like, really? You said you could play drums? There's nobody looking at you like that. So it was a whole different fucking level. Anyways. I was talking about the social networks. They're like clubs. You know what I mean? Where you got the new hot club and all the cool kids are going there. And then all the nerds show up. And the bridge and tunnel crowd and all that shit. And then everybody took off to Facebook. That's what the fuck happened. And then all the nerds went over there. And then all the cool kids went over to Twitter. And now all the nerds are following them over there. And it's going to be never fucking ending. So that's why I'm still here on MySpace. I like it. It's a quiet bar now. They can put the game on. I can sit here sipping my drink, having a good fucking time without all these crazy kids. It's like a dive. That's why I like MySpace. It's like a dive bar right now. No? Okay. Maybe it isn't. Maybe I'm just a fucking loser. It really is just a vast wasteland here. I'm not even going to lie to you. It's just whores and musicians. That's all that's left here. And one lonely comedian. All right, let's get to some feedback here. This is from a woman from a couple weeks ago when I was trashing that Carrie Underwood song. She said, I am a woman and have recently become a regular listener to your podcast. I was listening to your July 6th podcast and laughed uncontrollably. I actually like that Carrie Underwood song and cannot argue with the things you said. The two-piece combination to the cabbage comment was frickin' hilarious. Just thought you should hear it from a woman. That was awesome. All right. Well, you know what? Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And just because you brought that up, I'm going to actually give you the history behind the two-piece combination to the cabbage, actually where I heard that. It was actually, I gave a variation of it. I was on my way to do a stand-up gig in one of the outer boroughs in New York, and I was with somebody, and they were pissed at somebody else, and they were saying how they were going to kill him, and they were not joking, and they were going off and just like, this motherfucker this motherfucker that, I'm going to fucking blah, 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 all this shit. And he was basically, and I'm looking at the dude because he really, some people say, I'm going to fucking kill this guy. This guy was dead serious. So it was kind of an awkward moment. I'm just sort of like nodding, trying to act like I hear somebody every day tell me that they're going to kill another human being. And he was talking about he was going to shoot him in the head. And the way he put it, he said, now granted, I hadn't laughed up to this point. He said he was going to shoot him in the head. And then there was this awkward silence. And then he just, as a throwaway line, he just said, he said 2 beans to the cabbage. And it was like a half-second pause, and I just started roaring laughing, which got him laughing, and then we were just fucking laughing. And then he kept trying to say, no, I'm serious, son, as he's fucking laughing. And it was just one of those great fucking moments, and nobody ended up getting killed at the end of it. And it was just something that's just stuck. It's not the beans, it's the cabbage. There's something about when you do damage to somebody's head that it literally, cabbage is I don't know why, it's just perfect. It's just perfect. So that's how I got the cabbage reference. And, of course, everyone was remained. I didn't even tell you the borough. See? Right there. That's how you do it. Who the fuck am I kidding? If anything ever happened and they dragged me in, they wouldn't have to do good cop, bad cop. All they'd have to do is slam the door and be like, okay, we were driving on the LIE. And anyways, all right, here's a fucked up news story for you. Shit. Goddamn piece of shit computer. Or maybe it's the person operating it. All right, here we go. Here's a fucked up news story that somebody sent me. A lacrosse woman. Now, this is not a woman who plays lacrosse. It's a woman from a town evidently called La Crosse. And this story is so fucked up that I actually researched it on the internet. And by research, I mean I did a quick search and I clicked on the first story and it agreed with me and therefore it became fact. So with that background, let's read the story. All right. A La Crosse woman, a woman from La Crosse, is accused of stabbing her boyfriend Tuesday after she caught him watching pornography and masturbating, according to La Crosse police reports. Okay, she caught him watching pornography and masturbating, so she allegedly stabbed him. Rachel Ferrara, 23, found her 24-year-old boyfriend inside her home. The couple argued, and Ferrara accused the man of being an explicative cheater, being a fucking cheater, because evidently he was masturbating to pornography. She evidently punched him twice in the abdomen, kicked him in the groin. Ferrara then backed the man into the kitchen, which I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, a woman couldn't back a man into. Yes, she can, because we cannot lay a hand on you. So when you go psycho, that's what you do. You back into the room, going, honey, relax, relax, you're crazy. You take a couple of more, you you try to do the George Foreman. You know how George Foreman covers up his body late in his career? You got one forearm sort of in front of your face and the other one below you. It's almost like you're starting to cross your arms to do that Run DMC thing, but you stop midway, like the end of Chips. Anyways, God bless you if you got that joke. All right, so Ferrara then backed the man into the kitchen. She grabbed a 5-inch serrated knife and slashed his arms before stabbing him in the abdomen, according to reports. She reportedly refused his attempts to calm her down, and she screamed at him to leave. The man drove himself to Gunderson Medical Center, where he was treated and released. The woman, Ferrara, was arrested on charges of disorderly conduct while armed and recklessly endangering safety. She's expected later today in La Crosse County Circuit Court. So, the man who sent me this said, really, disorderly conduct while armed and recklessly endangering safety? If I, as a guy, went and stabbed my girlfriend in the abdomen because she had a vibrator in her twat, I would get charged with attempted murder and possibly rape. But I guess that's why we make $1 more an hour. Oh shit, did I just steal one of your jokes? Oh well, sincerely. And then he names the name of a comedian who's known for stealing jokes. Yeah, that is kind of a light charge, wouldn't you say? I'm not sitting here saying that she actually did any of this shit, because I understand that I know what alleged means. Okay? But my thing is what, if she did do this shit, which they're trying to prove disorderly conduct while armed and recklessly endangering safety. Now, what does that mean to you guys? Okay? If I told you I was arrested of disorderly conduct while armed and recklessly endangering safety, you know what that would mean? That would mean I'm at a gun range and I'm shit-faced and I didn't properly holster my weapon after I shot at a paper target. That's kind of what it seems like, Or maybe I'm doing something, I'm trying to shoot a bottle rocket out of my asshole or something. I don't know. I don't know what. You know what I mean? But that, if I told you I got arrested for that shit, you wouldn't thought that I fucking stabbed somebody. Slashed their arms and then fucking stabbed them. I don't understand. When is the world going to understand that whoever is wielding a knife, if they stab somebody, regardless of their sex, that is attempted murder? Isn't it? It's just fucking unreal. I gotta tell you something. I'm gonna go see that movie coming out. I think it's called Orphan. I don't know what, with that little scary girl in it, where they rescue this girl like some fucking psycho pit bull, like the one that I have. Oh my God, she had a fucking dream the other night. And fuck you, you dude from England. All right, you fast forward through this shit. I don't give a fuck. That dude from a couple weeks ago says he can't stand my stories about it. I'm going to fucking tell one every week just to annoy you. This is how crazy shelter dogs are. My fucking dog is laying there. And I'm like, drifting off to sleep. And all of a sudden, I'm hearing like, right? And it's like seeping into my dream. I'm fucking, I don't know, talking to some whore in my dream. And all of a sudden, she turns into like a bear or some shit, right? So I fucking wake up. I'm like, what the fuck kind of dream is that? I look over, and there's my damn dog, sound asleep, moving one of his paws, going, doing that shit. So I don't know what the fuck to do, right? You're not supposed to awake a sleepwalking human being. What do I do with a fucking psycho pit bull that's evidently having words with somebody in a goddamn dream? So I decided to wake her up. I was like, Cleo. And then she immediately just sort of woke up and then looked at me and just started wagging her tail. Like, oh, hey, how's it going? And then just put her head back down again. Like all that shit just didn't happen. It's just the fucking thing's nuts. All right, let's get back to I want to see that movie Orphan there. Which is, it's got just, there's something about women when they're the bad guy. It's extra scary to me. Something about a guy being a maniac. You just look at it, fuck that guy. Fuck him. Whatever. I drop kick him. You just think shit like that for the most part. But there's something about, I don't know. They've always freaked me out. And for some reason, I was thinking about that, how like women being the Michael Myers to me is way more scary than the guy. And I remember way back in like 82 or 83, when I first got cable, I was watching late night. And I can't even, I really feel bad for people of this generation who have just grown up with cable. You have no idea how fucking insane cable is. You have no idea. We had 3 networks, 2 UHFs, and that was it. And nobody cursed. No titties, no nothing. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable when that shit came out. So, anyways, so I'm watching late night, and I was watching this movie, and I looked it up on YouTube. It's actually, the movie is called Curtains. And it has one of the most bizarre, fucked up scenes. I went back and I watched it. It really didn't hold up over time. but back in the day, it really fucking freaked me out. There's a scene in that movie Curtains where there's a girl who's out on a pond and she's fucking taking, I can't even explain it. I forget because I haven't seen the movie in so long. The clip I watched, she's basically uncovering snow. And you think it's a dead body, but it's a doll underneath. And as she's holding it up, the doll has a weird look on her face. And then they're sort of cutting to these fucking ice skates slowly, in slow motion, just beginning to skate across the pond towards this girl. And of course, she has no idea that this fucking thing is coming towards her. And they just show it from a distance, and it just looks like a person. And as it gets closer and closer, it's this fucking psycho. I think it's a woman. I can't even remember, but it looks like a woman. It's got a female face, like a witch face with long hair, and she's skating like she's speed skating. And then she pulls out like this fucking sickle. I can't. It's fucked up, right? I mean, I don't know, dude. I went from Barney Miller to that. That's what it was like to have no cable and then to have that. And I'm like literally 12, 13 fucking years old. The movie's called Curtains. Just look it up. It's the only part of the movie probably worth watching. You can actually watch the clip. And when you're there, there's another clip that you have to watch that kind of ties into this whole thing where women, when they do violent shit, they just don't get charged with the same stuff that a guy does. And if you really feel that there's no justice in the world ever when it comes to females physically doing stuff to guys, I have a video for you, and I cannot take credit for this YouTube video. This isn't even YouTube video of the week. It's not YouTube video of the month. As far as I'm concerned, this is YouTube video of the fucking year. This is what I want you guys to Google right here. Go on YouTube and search Tough Talking College Girl. All right? Somebody sent me this clip. It's unbelievable, okay? And tough is spelled Tuff. Okay? And it basically involves the classic scenario. The hot chick in the bikini. There's some guy hitting on her. She starts giving him shit back. He gives her shit. And then she throws a drink in his face. You know? And then turns around and walks away. Because that's what you do when you throw a fucking drink in somebody's face. You just walk away. Now as a guy, I feel bad for guys or whoever's fucking listening to this right now and you're not near a fucking computer because you really just need to watch it. You really need to watch it because in a perfect world, this is what you'd be able to do as a guy. All right? Now, I have to talk about this video. Spoiler alert, I'm going to tell you what the fuck happened. So, if you want to hit pause and fucking watch the video, or if you want to listen to me talk about the video, I'm babbling right now to give you that opportunity, okay? Because I'm going to ruin what the fuck happens. Okay? I'm going to talk about it in 3, 2, 1. All right, here we go. So, she throws the fucking drink in his face and just turns around and walks away. Okay, because that's what happens in movies. Nothing ever happens. And not to mention, if you ever do go to make a move on some girl who does some shit like that to you, there's usually a couple bouncers there to choke you out. Basically, the scenario is they're outside at a pool. I can't defend the kid who got the drink thrown in his face. He definitely kind of looks like he could be a bit of a douche, but whatever. He's got the balls to walk up to this hot chick that back in the day when I was his age, I wouldn't have the balls to walk up to, so I give the kid props, okay? But he does have his sunglasses dangling from his ears and hanging underneath his chin. So right there, the douche level of that guy's pretty fucking high. So whatever. So she throws the fucking drink in his face and just walks away. She doesn't give a shit that he's got to go home and change or he's got to stand there and be sticky in 80-degree weather outside the fucking the pool. So he immediately, takes a half a pause and then just fucking walks up to the girl. And she's still trying to act tough. She's like, what? Like when white girls, because they've watched reality TV, now know how to act ghetto. She's like, what? And throws the empty plastic cup down on the ground like she's going to do something. All right. And the dude, I thought he was going to wind up and blast her in the face. So at this point, I'm watching it with one eye because I don't give a fuck what a girl does. You never want to see her get hit fucking closed fisted. It's ugly, even though she threw the drink. But the dude fucking just, I had to watch it twice to see what he does. He does a fucking leg sweep that I swear to God, he could have beat one of the Gracies with one of this. He just, it's like the girl's standing up and then she is not. He just, I can't believe, like, from her knees down, both those parts of her legs didn't fly off like a mortar hit him. That's how fucking, he just fucking, I'm literally standing up acting it out again. Huh? This is like when I told the Rose Bowl story back in the day, right? He literally just fucking leg sweeps her and she just goes whap down onto the ground and she hits the back of her head in the concrete. And that's the part where you're like, ooh, not good. Funny until the back of the head hits the concrete. But she immediately goes like, oh my God, screaming, basically sounding the alarm for all the guys to come and rescue her, which they kind of don't. They kind of all stand up like, hey, dude, whoa, what's going on, you know? And I don't know, you know, why did I try to describe that? I can't do justice. You have to see this tough-talking college girl. Just Google that and spell tough, Tuff. And I swear to God, like I said, I don't advocate hitting a woman. And I think women should respect that rather than take advantage of it. And I really think if you take a full drink and you throw it in somebody's face, you're really taking advantage of that. A man should never hit a woman, okay? And I really have to be honest with you. If the guy punched her in the face, I would have said he was a douche. But there's something about a leg sweep that it had a gentleman quality to it. You know, in fact, that's the comment I left under the first time the video was up. It was taken down, but the comment I left was leg sweep equals gentleman. I got to be honest with you. I've seen girls get punched. I've seen them get slapped. Okay, I've seen a guy shake a girl. I've seen a dude choke a girl. None of this I advocate, but I've seen all that. I have never seen somebody go for the leg sweep. And it was surprising. You know what I mean? It's like when you see a movie and you think you know how it's going to end, like, oh, Jesus, and then the hero comes in on the white horse, and then no, Leonardo DiCaprio gets popped in the fucking elevator, and you're like, holy shit, I didn't see that coming. That's what that fucking leg sweep was like. It was like seeing DiCaprio get popped in The Departed. It's fucking phenomenal. YouTube video of the year. Why don't we have that? That's a new segment here on my Monday morning podcast. Let's have nominees, okay? Because when they nominate the Oscars, it's usually like 2-3 months ahead of time. That's what we'll have in December. You guys just remind me. We will have the nominees for YouTube Video of the Year. For me, okay, that movie is like the equivalent to the, I'm not going to say There Will Be Blood. It's more like No Country for Old Men. You know, that kid should just had a bowl cut and just not blinked when he fucking did it, and that I would have bought it on DVD. All right, so there you go. Okay, was that misogynistic enough? We always have to have that moment in this fucking podcast. All right, let's wind it down here with the questions because it's getting late, and I got to get up early here because I have a tea time. Ahoy! And he stepped on the bowl. All right, questions. Hey, Mr. Burr. How's that for making you feel fucking old? It did make me feel old. All right. I was just wondering what your thoughts were on why people are so easily offended, especially by foul language. I thought you might have some insight here as someone who uses the word cunt and fuck quite regularly. Hey, guilty as charged. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that I live in the South, but it seems like you drop the F-bomb here. Oh, I see what you're saying. Maybe it has to do with the fact that I live in the South, that if you drop the F-bomb here or tell someone with all the fucking padding. Why did I enlarge this? I am the worst reader. I'm sorry, guys. Let me start this again. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that I live in the South, but it seems like if you drop the F-bomb here or tell something to someone without all the fucking padding and they just lose their shit. Do you think this has something to do with the pussification of America? Or do most people just grow up in a household where ball busting... Oh, do most people not grow up in a household where ball busting is commonplace? I don't know. You know, when I go across America, I don't see a lot of pussies. I see a lot of psychos. I just think in general that this country has, just really become corporate, and they cast a wide net. they're always commercial fishing, so they're trying not to offend people. So a lot of the shows on TV have sort of been dumbed down, I think. But in general, I mean, I live in America and I say fucking cunt all the time, as do all of my friends. And there you go. So I'm defining America by how I behave. I don't know. I think certain people grow up with ball busting and other people don't. And the reality is everybody has a different line. And I think the real thing is that people who get offended are way more organized. And they complain and they write letters. And people who don't give a fuck enough to write a letter to say, I don't give a fuck. You know? So there you go. Did you guys hear that burp? That was one of those internal burps that I heard in my head, and I can't tell if that was out loud. All right. Let's move on to the next one. Hey, Bill, big fan. Love your comedy and your podcast. They're fucking hilarious. Thank you very much. I appreciate that you do it for free. Thank you. Anyways, I have a question for you. When a comedian such as yourself records a CD or a DVD, is that a one-time shot, or are you able to reshoot if you are unhappy with the show? It all depends. For the most part, yeah. If you do like a stand-up special, you do at least 2 shows. I was watching a guy recently on HBO hyping his special, and he was talking about working somewhere in Texas, and he was going to do 4 shows, and from the 4 shows, he was going to put together the special. But for the most part, you do at least 2. So this is how it's worked with me. I did a CD called Emotionally Unavailable, which is available on iTunes. I really need to whore out my shit more too, by the way. But how I did that was I taped that at the Laugh House in Philadelphia, and I was doing 4 shows, 2 Friday and 2 Saturday, and I taped all the shows. I listened back to all the shows, and I just liked the second show Saturday night. And I liked it. And I got heckled, and there was some awkward moments in it, and it just sounded like a show. And what I liked about the old school comedy albums that I used to listen to when I was growing up is you really felt like you were kind of in the nightclub and you were listening and that type of thing. And it just, I don't know, with all this Pro Tool stuff, you can really make something sound really slick. And I think I wrote that in the liner notes. Wow, I'm really going back a long way. In the liner notes, I actually wrote, like, I didn't kind of want to splice together a performance that never really happened, So, and then the other half was I was fucking lazy, and it was true. I wasn't going to go through 4 hours of fucking audio and just listening to me do the same. I just couldn't fucking do it. So I was like, you know what? I like that second show Saturday. So that's how I did that one. On the HBO one, when I did my half hour, there was 2 tapings, and my first show went really well, so I knew I had a good special. And then I came out the second one, and the second one I was even more loose, and that one just went ridiculously great. And afterwards, the director was like, you know what? I think that second one was the one, other than this one little joke. So why don't we just take one little joke from the first one, stick that in, and the rest will be the second show. And I said, works for me. So that's how that one went together. And why do I do this? Was only one show. That one, and that was because of the budget. We kind of waited a little too long to get a theater, and we had to spend more money than we thought. And then in the end, we only had the budget to do one of them. So what you see is what you get on that one. That was just one take, and I left out some tags and that type of shit. And it was kind of freaking me out in the beginning of the special. If you look closely in my eyes, you'll see it a couple of times. But then I was just like, well, fuck it. No one's going to know that I missed the tags, This is the special, Bill. Why don't you get present and fucking deliver it? So I just, yeah, that's how I did that one. But, yeah, basically speaking, yeah, you don't just do one. Unless you have no fucking budget or you fucked up your budget or something like that. So this one that I do in San Francisco, I am going to be doing 2. And also I'm going to be doing a bunch of fucking road work before I come up to it. So I'm going to be extra ready. And I actually learned something last time when I did an hour. Basically, when I did my half hour for HBO, I was on the road doing 50 minutes. So to do a half hour was a joke. It's kind of like if you were doing cardio for 50 minutes and then one day you did 30, it'd be easy. So, but what I wasn't doing when I trained for the hour was when I was doing the hour, I was doing right about an hour. So it felt like more work than doing the half hour. So this time when I go through, I'm going to be doing at least an hour and 10 and an hour and 15 minutes when I'm on stage, especially September, October, November. Unless I'm doing 3 shows that night, I won't do that because I don't want to back it up. But I am actually really against doing more than an hour on stage. I think it becomes, people are just like, all right, and we got it. You're funny. We have to go to work tomorrow, okay? My face hurts. It's like you're overselling. I always feel like when you do more than an hour, you're kind of overselling. Although I did an hour and 13. I just uploaded that one from San Francisco, not where you guys can listen, where I can listen to it, and it actually holds together. I think maybe I just wasn't in shape enough to do it. But I don't know. I just find, once you get like an hour and 15, it's like, dude, enough. All right. Jesus Christ, Bill. How many fucking different ways are you going to answer that? All right. Overrated, underrated, and then I'm going to get out of here. Okay. Underrated. Bill Burr, thank you. Lewis Black, Don Cheadle, Samuel Jackson Beer, Real Hip Hop, in parentheses, Common, Mos Def, Talib Kweli? I don't know who the fuck that is. Yeah, he is underrated. I have no idea who that is. Kanye West. How the fuck is Kanye West underrated? Overrated. Everything on BET, MTV, VH1. Sonia Sotomayor. I don't know who that is. Barack Obama. United States military. I was a Marine for 5 years. Jay fucking Cutler. Still won't help the Bears for shit. It actually reminds me, something I finally, I've gotten into some sort of old school like hip hop, but I just don't know what the fuck to listen to. I'm kind of talking like late 80s, early 90s. Anything pre-Biggie, if you got some shit, and not just obvious shit that like Kool Moe Dee that they played on like MTV, like some underground shit. Like this is stuff that I always hear. I'll be like, oh, I kind of like this guy. They'll be like, oh, he was in Leaders of the New School. Or who was that group Eric Sermon was in? Like if you know any of that shit, if you can let me know, give me the heads up on that. I'd like to download some of that shit because I don't know, I'm into it now. I'm trying to play drums to it, and it's finding it very challenging. All right, another underrated comics, overrated. Here's an overrated one. This is kind of an obscure one. Overrated comics who do a visual bit during their specials and acknowledge to the live audience how funny it is that the CD listeners are left out. You made a funny face, we get it. Yeah, you know what? I think I've done that. Or you're recording a CD and you do a visual joke and then you comment how everyone at home isn't going to understand that joke. We're all doing it. All right. Last thing. Ask Bill. Hey, Bill, just started listening to Uninformed last week. And that's my radio show that I do on Sirius Satellite Radio, Sirius XM, whatever the fuck they call it. And you know what? Somebody just sent me a thing here on where the hell you could listen to those. Bill, read this, you fag. This is like the new thing everyone's doing because that one guy. Uninformed. Here we go. All right, here's where you can listen to all the Uninformed shows that I've done with Joe DeRosa for free. You can on mininova.com. M-I-N-I, Nova, N-O-V-A, all lowercase, no spaces.com. There you go. You can listen to all of them, and we're going to start doing them again. We had one here in July. I don't even know when the fuck they even put it out. It's fucking disappointing how disorganized we are with that show. But anyways, let's get to Ask Bill here. Bill, just started listening to Uninformed a week ago. I downloaded a package of all the shows done to date, hence the ancient reference. Anyways, because I said no XM. Anyway, you mentioned a while ago that you were really socially awkward as a kid. I'd love to hear how you overcame that. I dropped out of high school at 16, and it seems the more time I spent alone, the harder it gets to inject myself into any situation that involves other human beings. I'm now 21, apparently an adult, but anytime I have to do a task that may involve other people, it's a real problem. Even simple things like taking out the garbage or going grocery shopping make me shake and sweat. My situation is probably more severe than yours was, but I'd love to hear any advice to overcome this nonsense. All right. Okay. Well. All right. Where can I start with that shit? All right. Here's how bad mine was. I was literally. I would like be at an ATM, and if someone was standing behind me and I had 2 transactions, I would only do one, and I would get out of line for fear that the person behind me, the second I started the second transaction, would literally beat the shit out of me. Okay, now all this shit is going on in my head because that's how it worked in my family growing up. You know, if you took too much time, next thing you know, I had a bunch of brothers, so we'd end up fist fighting. But until you verbalize it out loud, you don't realize how fucking ridiculous it is. And so, I don't know. What did I do? I basically, well, to become a comedian, I was in college at the time, and what I did was I knew that I could barely give a book report without my face turning beet red. So what I did was I just started taking classes where I knew I'd have to get up in front of the class. And the more I did it, the more I enjoyed it, and the more it felt awesome. So what I would do is, I don't know, I get out a piece of paper, write out what your fear is. Like what are you thinking is going to happen? 'Cause that's another thing too, man. You'll spend your whole life cowering over this great fear that only exists in your fucking head. And I swear to God, most times it's just for some shit that happened when you were a kid and your brain was forming how it was going to view the world, and you just saw some shit or some shit happened to you at the wrong fucking time. And then that shit just becomes law in your head as like a 5-year-old. You know, and you're literally 21 years old making this fearful decisions of a 5-year-old. And believe me, dude, I did that. And I can tell you this, you know, you're young enough where it's kind of easy to undo that shit. But if you wait later in life, like I kind of did with a lot of stuff, what it is that little seed of a fucked up thought kind of grows into this big fucking oak tree that you got to hack down. So what I would do is, I don't know. What the fuck can you do? I don't know what you do for a living. I would, try to be more social at work. Try to shoot the shit. Get involved in something. If you're good at sports, join a softball league. If you play an instrument, start jamming with other people. You got to get yourself into the mix of people. And, it's kind of like, I knew somebody who really sucked at driving, and they were freaking out about it. And just sort of, the more they did it, it's just like stand-up. I swear to God, I would never show you guys these tapes, but if you could ever see video of when I first started doing stand-up, when I got on stage, I was so fucking nervous, I never stopped moving the whole time I was on stage. I would get on stage, and I would just pace the entire time, and I would be pouring sweat. It's almost like performance art or some avant-garde, because it doesn't even fucking make sense when you watch it. I can't believe I ever even got any laughs. But as years went by and the more shows I did, the more comfortable I got, the more present I could be. And that's basically how to do it. But don't be tough on yourself. Just know you're going to bomb the same way I bombed as a comedian. And, I don't know, find humor in your shortcomings, and just keep working on it. And, believe me, dude, you're not just going to start talking to somebody and the next day you're not going to be, shy or whatever. So give yourself permission to fuck up for a while as you work your way through it. Don't do the shit where you kind of say half a sentence and then you get freaked out and then you stop and then the person's looking at you like, what the fuck? And then you feel like a douche and then you don't try it again until the next decade. That's not the way to go, all right? You're 21, you should be out there drinking, you should be out there banging fucking whores and having a good time, because someday you're going to get married, and even if you have a great marriage, the level of responsibility and the taxes and what the fucking bankers do to you, your life's going to suck. So, yeah. You can do it, dude. Don't fucking, just don't be too hard on yourself. That's the biggest thing when you're trying to learn new shit. Just know, give yourself permission to suck at it at the beginning, and then bam, there you go. How's that? There's a nice feel-good way to end this podcast. You know, I started off, the fuck was I talking about? Coffee, golf, and then leg sweeping a chick, you know? Looked like I was going to go off the rails, and look, it ended very nicely. See, I'm not all bad, am I? All right, there you go. Well, there's your podcast for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You guys have a wonderful week. And if you're in the Denver area, hell, if you're in Cheyenne, Wyoming, why don't you drive down and come down to my show? And I was just going to say I'll have a drink with you, but I can't. I got to fucking, see? I got to stay on point here. I'll have a sarsaparilla with you. I think I'll be doing like fucking cranberry juice and lime. Is that what the fuck I'm going to do? Oh, Jesus, it's going to be fucking brutal. All right, you guys have a good week. And that is all. Hey, and the new segment is the nominees for YouTube Clip of the Year. Or maybe we'll do the month, whatever. We'll work it out as we do it. All right, guys? All right, have a good week. Take it easy.